racist. With a passion. For people to have blatant I hate racists, and you feel like now you want to come and be showing yourself, and you think that someone like me is going to back down. It's very, very mad. It's very, very important at this time that we ignore ignorance, and we ignore people. Sorry, my lips are dry. We ignore people that come through and try to make these situations what they're not. And in no way, obviously you lot know, man. I'm not even apologizing, first of all. You lot better fucking believe that. But there's no way that I have the opinion that there's no other forms of racism. Of course there's other forms of racism. But a black man was just murdered in cold blood in the streets, stateside, again, while saying that he can't breathe. That's a continuous cycle going on. And although I don't live in the States, but I'm black. Fuck that. So I say it again. Fuck you racist white people. I said what I said. And if you don't fucking like it, go suck a dick. Seriously. It's not about career. It's not about money. Because a lot of people like to bring that up. Oh, career, money, all these things. All those things were just a part of my dream, just a part of working. That's got nothing to do with how you treat people. It's a madness. So when I say it, I mean it. And you lot can't rattle me. That's another thing. You can't rattle me. I'm not the guy to be rattled. I wasn't raised by no weak people. You understand? I ain't the guy to be rattled. So first of all, you're going to respect black people online. And make sure if you comment on all my pictures or videos and you saying anything about no black people, you saying any racist shit, that's straight up block. It's fine. It's ready. Don't need you on my page. And if you're a fan of me and you support my work and you're racist and you're arguing with what I was saying, fuck off. You fucking dickheads. Yeah? So I straight up like that. That's how it's gonna go. And throughout my whole career as an actor, I want to let you guys know this. I'm not the guy. I'm not Hollywood. I never ever left the UK to go and live in LA for over a year. I never did. I'm from London.
Okay, so you just heard that right there. Now that, of course, was not the entire clip from John Boyega's rant, in which I have to give him a huge kudos for that. Because here you have an actor who, first off, he's an actor who is not a black American. He's from the UK and he knows this. But he did not do the whole divide thing like a lot of foreign-born blacks tend to do when it comes to American-born black people. And this isn't the first time he's been outspoken with this type of thing, but this is the first time I've seen him really go in like this. Now, like I said, this was just a little 2.5 minute clip from his Instagram live that he just recently did. And like I said, I tip my hat off to him for actually doing that, because he could have easily stayed idly by and quiet, especially since his level of his celebrity. The only thing I really fault him for is for that whack role of Finn in that trash Star Wars trilogy. Like, they left a bad taste in a lot of our mouths. But anyway, that's in the past, and that's over and done with. I'm sure he's glad that's over with as well. But here you have a guy, like I said, who's all the way across the pond, and he's talking about issues that's going on with black people here in the States, and it's not coming off in a standoffish type of way. Meanwhile, you have some people here who are of a higher caliber than him, who are black Americans, who will barely say anything like this. Like, this guy let it rip, and he said he's not apologizing. I'm glad he said that. He's basically saying, I'm not going to backtrack on anything that I say. If they ask me in interviews after they see this, am I sorry for the words that I said? No, he meant what he said, and he said what he meant. And that's how a lot of people need to be. They need to stand firmly on their square. When they say something, they need to mean it, not backtrack because you're feeling pressure. And one thing he also said is he's not Hollywood. He said he hasn't lived out there for longer than a year. He just was there when he had to work on the Star Wars films or any film that he had to film here in the States. But he said other than that, he's not in America. He's over in London in the UK where his home is at. Other than that, that's where he dwells. You can tell that he doesn't like the Hollywood lifestyle. He just there for work whenever work becomes available to him. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, this may affect his career. But to be honest, just him being outspoken alone like that, all he needs is that right black creative to reach out to him, and I'm sure he'll most likely do it, depending on what the material is, of course. And like I said, he didn't have to come onto his platform and do it, but I'm glad that he did. But like I said, it's a shame because this guy, even though he is black, in a way, I don't want to really speak for him in this way because maybe he has or maybe he hasn't, but he really doesn't, I guess you can say, identify with what black American males go through on a daily. One, because of his stature as far as his celebrity goes, but that can happen to anybody. But two, he wasn't born or raised here. But a lot of the work that he gets comes from here. And like I said, this is not the first time he's been outspoken about these type of issues, but this is the first time, like I said, that he's used this particular tone to actually put it out there. And he said he's not Hollywood, so he's like, they can't really, I'm not really bound by a Hollywood contract, so to speak, like many of the other people out here are. Sure, they can get out there and they can say certain things, but they have to be careful and very PC with what they say. He was being very a rant from the 90s, back when political correctness was kind of on the rise, but it was still kind of toned down, not like where it is today. And then not only that, but it went on to Twitter when he basically said that he hates races. He said a little bit more than that, but I'm just paraphrasing. And then all of a sudden I saw one tweet from one white guy came in there and said, I understand your frustration. And I'm paraphrasing this. I understand your frustration, but you got to think of your Star Wars fans right now. And basically he came back and said, this isn't about Star Wars right now. Like, what does Star Wars have to do with this? One, his character is done. And two, that franchise of Star Wars is completed. This has nothing to do with Star Wars. But then what makes it even more worse is that he had some of his black fans, I don't know if they were doing this to troll in order to get a reaction out of him because they just knew he was going to reply, in which he did, in which they were trying to say certain things to trigger him or something like that. And they got the response they wanted. But looking at their profiles, a lot of them were foreign born. One of them I knew for a fact was because they mentioned they were from South Africa. Yeah, like I said, these co-colonizing cohorts are something else. But I'm glad that he spoke out and said what he said. Like I said, he did not have to get onto his platform and make this rant. And like I said, that was only a 2.5-minute clip of a much longer stream. I don't know how much longer the stream was. When I was looking at the live numbers, it was over 2,000 people watching and a lot of people commenting, and a lot of people was giving him props to what he said. And people were like, oh, this is probably going to hurt his career. He just said he's not Hollywood, so he probably doesn't care. Right now, Hollywood is in a comatose state thanks to the woo-woo. Nobody's working right now, as far as I know. So it is what it is. But again, salute to John Boyega.